Right then, I feel like we have to talk about Zirkzee. Joshua Zirkzee getting booed off against Newcastle. Personally, don't think it's acceptable to boo a player. I mean, there's loads of players that I've seen at United that I don't like. I don't boo them. I just sit there like this. I thought that was a little bit distasteful. Obviously, he didn't have a good game, and he was rightly hooked, but booing him felt like the frustration at everything else rather than specifically aimed at him. But either way, it's brought a ton of negativity down on him. Obviously, his performance wasn't great. It was more of a reflection of both the team and the situation that we find ourselves in. Now, he's obviously not had the best start to life in a United shirt, so I think it's worth assessing where we're at with him and what the future might hold for him. Now, obviously, he was subbed off in the 32nd, 33rd minute for Mainu. Went straight down the tunnel and was booed as he did so. Now, whatever your thoughts are, that's going to keep him up for a few nights. One, the first half substitution, but also the humiliating manner in which he's booed going down the tunnel as well. And I think that kind of sums up his career in a United shirt so far. 2-0 down already at that point. Substitution was to try and get some cover in for Eriksen and Mainu in midfield. Amorim has to take the heat for what was the wrong selection in midfield for that. When your two defensive midfielders are having, to do the extraordinary to cut out passes and progress play, there's obviously something wrong with that. But that performance as a two kind of stitched Zirkzee up a little bit. Now, as I said, I thought the first half substitution kind of summed his career up at United. It was a poor performance. He gave the ball away almost every time he got it. He gave the ball away 7 times and only completed 3 passes. In 15 touches of the ball, only 3 passes completed out of 9. He did win 3 out of 3 ground duels, but like I said, lost possession 7 times. It's certainly a performance to forget. Now, I get that it's his first season, and he's joined an unstable club that's changed its manager, changed its shape, changed its philosophy, and an adjustment period would have been needed to both Manchester United and the Premier League if it wasn't for the managerial change. Now he's had to change that, and all that's got to be adjusted as well. The stats as they look is 4 games, 2 assists in 27 games. And that's not good enough when you consider the role that he's meant to be playing. 2 of those goals came in a 4-0 versus Everton. He's meant to be scoring more than he is, and he's meant to be creating more than he is. He calls himself a 9.5. There has to be a level of productivity, either with the chances created for others or the goals scored for yourself. Now, at his previous clubs, he was never really a prolific goal scorer. The best contributions seemed to be in the build-up and moving the play forward. Considering the praise that he got at Bologna for without a mind-blowing goal-scoring record, it shouldn't really be a surprise he isn't scoring loads for us. But there has to be other areas to a game where he excels. Now, at Bayern, he scored 4 and assisted 1 in 17. At Anderlecht, he got 18 and 13 in 47, which isn't a bad return. At Bologna, it was 14 and 9 in 58. Certainly not prolific. Is it the pace of the Premier League? Is it the intensity of it? Is it the aggressiveness of the league? Is it more so than any other league? Has that nullified his ability to either beat a man or show those traits? Because at the moment, he quite frankly looks a shadow of the man that we signed. Does he fit this squad? Does he fit this manager? This manager didn't sign him. He's only just joined. And as quick as it gets, he's almost become surplus to requirements. Now, Erik Ten Hag might have had a vision for him that it was going to be X, Y, or Z. It might have been in that what we were thinking was the McTominay role of, it's not quite gone to plan, throw him on as an extra forward. There's not really that role in Amorim's system. What do we do with him? Is there any way we can all win in this situation? Is there any way Amorim can find a use for him? Is there any way that, because Amorim's now tried him as the sort of central lead main forward. He's tried him with a main forward with someone like a Rashford running off him. That seemed to work quite well, in all honesty. He's tried him in the 10 behind Højlund, which I thought would work, but hasn't seemingly managed to do so. Is there any way that his Manchester United career can be salvaged? Is this like an Evra and Vidic situation where give him 6 months and watch what happens next season? Is it a case of that? Is it a case of he'll never be first choice, but he could be a useful plan B? Ineos sanctioned this transfer. Now, it was obviously a different manager in charge, but there has to be some honest and real conversations being had behind the scenes. What's going to happen with this player? Where does he fit in? What can he bring to the table? Signing of him is looking worse and worse by the minute. I think the substitution of him shows Amorim's thoughts on him. Substituting him after half an hour. Is it a negligence on Ineos' part for signing someone that's maybe not been scouted correctly? Maybe someone that needs longer to adjust to the new style of play, because he's going to have to adjust to this style of play so fast to make this work. I don't know what the solution is here. For me, I think that there's a role for him. Maybe it becomes more evident once you get the other pieces around him. United have looked better when Ahmad has been the right wing back. With Ahmad as the right wing back, you've got 5 forwards and 5 defenders. If you can have Zirkzee in there as one of the 5 forwards, things start to move around a little bit more, and maybe his link-up play when there's more runners off and ahead of him starts to improve a little bit. The balance at the moment with 6 defenders and 4 forwards, maybe there's not quite the people to go link him up. But when you take the Newcastle game, every time he got the ball, he looked like an amateur player that had won a fucking prize to go and play at the top level. And that sounds harsh, but man, that's all I can think of when I watched him. It doesn't look like he's of this level. You would see academy players come in and look better than he looked. Is it a one-off? Well, not really, because we have actually seen this sort of non-entity performance half a dozen times. United have got a lot of issues. Zirkzee's found himself as another one of them. I mean, talk to me. Comments. Can you sell him? Do you sell him? Do you wait? Is there a bit more patience? Is there like, look, we're not going to get anything for selling him. There's literally no benefit to us selling him. Keep him around, work on him, bring him out of the box next season and see what we can do. Is there merit to that? Or do you think his confidence is going to be completely and utterly shattered with the substitution and the booing that he got? Let me know in the comments. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.